shot like the game is?
Yes.
So all
Yeah.
the parts that are in the game were in this episode. Parts that weren't in the game, they added, and they added it very well.
Okay.
That's what
So
I'll
like
say.
the implied stuff, basically.
Yeah.
Well, like Joel in the games, it wasn't a therapist situation, right? None
Mhm.
of that was in the game. Some other things that they did
Should
weren't
have
in the
been in the
game.
game.
Should have been in the game.
Should have been in
Foundationally,
the
were
game would
really
have
good.
actually been tolerable in certain aspects if they had done parts of this episode in the game.
This is gonna be a long. This is gonna be a long season.
Uh,
But yeah,
Jeez.
Ronan, are you okay? Man, he is not okay.
um,
Busy, are you okay? All right. Ant, you good? Ant's quiet.
Ronan, talk to us, man. Talk to us, Ronan.
Nah, I think he needs a minute. I don't know if he got anything to say.
I'm with you. I'm with you. Let's
Someone introduce
say
the
it.
review already. Let's shoot the review already. Let's just.
Wait, you want to shoot
I'm out.
the review?
I'm out of here.
Okay.
All right, peace out, ladies.
All right.
All
All
right.
right.
Later,
All
Millie.
right,
My
man,
business.
later. Yo, oh my God.
So look, I guess constructively, this is our thoughts. I don't know if this is our official review of episode 1 of season 2 of The Last of Us. This is gonna be as non-spoiler as possible because there are people here that have never played the Last of Us 2 game. Specifically 2 people, and that is Keaton and Jorge. So everybody else here has
And
either-
Anthony.
and Ant.
And Chitty.
So it's 3 of us that have played the game several times. But I think that us that have played the games, we were wondering how they were going to be able to handle duplicating what they did in the game. And one of the first things we were wondering about was whether or not this is going to be linear or non-linear. Is absolutely, in so many respects, shot for shot for the way the game was. But then there are other extensions to this that they add in so much more. And one of the things that they added in, of course, in the first episode, which I was surprised about, is they introduced a character named Abby. From what we see here, she's very, very mad at Joel. You don't know why, but by whatever means necessary, she is going to try to hurt him in any way she possibly can. And so everything else in this episode, and the way they handled Jackson, and the way they also handled Joel, I think they did a really good job with it. But I'm curious with Keaton, Anthony, and Jorge, what are you guys' impression coming from the first season and how the first season ended, and then we're right back into it without even a beat? Like if you started and binged the first season, you're gonna immediately go right from that to this. So what was you guys' perspective on how they handled this episode? Because you guys, I think I'm more keen on learning from y'all than what we know.
So I will say I liked that it was one of those things where they just jumped right back to it. Like the last thing that happened, they're like, hey, here's where it ended. And just went straight from there and then kind of introduced what was coming up in the new season with the character Abby in, I guess I couldn't tell if it was a graveyard or if it was just like fresh, like they just buried him. I'm guessing it's that. But I do think it's interesting because the thing is, like, it definitely seems like this Abby character is an antagonist, but at the same time, it's like kind of fair, depending if what I was talking about with y'all earlier is right. But yeah, I really like how they just pasted and jumped right back into it. I was kind of shocked at the time. another big time skip, like they did in the first episode of the last season. But yeah, I really liked it. I loved this episode.
So for people that are, didn't watch the reaction, what was your theory about Abby and what's going on? Why is she so mad?
You want me to give mine or
Yeah.
Okay.
The
So
theory you told about it. Yeah.
So my theory is that like as angry as she is with Joel and like they had like his appearance, I'm guessing that there's somebody that he killed that possibly was in that hospital, because she mentioned like they mentioned something about, oh, we had to help the wounded. I'm like, okay, well, if they're wounded people, that means they were probably in that hospital. And so I think somebody in there, because all of them had the Firefly necklaces. And so I'm guessing that like all of them, they knew the people that were in that hospital, because Joel cleaned house. He was like a Doom level at the end of that last episode. He was cooking. He was like acting like John Wick. And so I'm guessing that he might have killed somebody that was really close to Abby, that she got that revenge on her, especially 5 years later, and still want smoke like that. Like somebody, he took out somebody close to her.
Yeah. No, I think it's a fair assessment. Of course, all of us are not going to say anything, but I think it's a fair assessment, especially from people that are just watching this for the first time.
Is Ronan okay?
No, he's not. But Jorge, what was your thoughts?
So I'm not gonna lie, I was very confused because I thought that Abby chick was like the main character for a minute, and I
you thought she was Ellie?
Yeah, and I thought instead of it saying like 5 years later, I thought it was like like 5 years before. So that was just confusing. No, I mean I love how this started exactly where the other one ended. This, in a weird way, that's kind of like what The Incredibles did, with like their cartoon movie. And I love that. I love that you basically are just continuing this story. Yeah, this was, I think more than anything, at least for me, I think the shots in this episode were so crisp. Like for whatever reason, they stand out to me a lot more than last season. The way that they just kind of showed certain angles of certain things, very neat. And I think Joel definitely, like, his acting is beyond on point. Like it was very, you can tell how much he's trying and how much he's hurt. Which, without him saying anything, like you can just see it and feel it. I am all in. Like this season, I think is going to be wild, because I think for me it was like I was getting very excited hearing you guys' reactions, like before stuff was happening, but it wasn't ruining it for me. It was almost like getting my adrenaline pumping to see like, well, what's next. But I do like watching this with people who kind of know what's happening in a weird way, because you guys have played the game. But no, this was phenomenal. Yeah, I'm still trying to digest it, but this was really good.
Yeah. Ant, what was your feelings on this, man? Yeah, you on mute, I think. Oh, I'm off. Can't hear you. Uh-oh.
He's speechless.
Okay. All right. We're going to give him. All right. That's fine. Let me go back out. All right. So, Ant, you're good, man. Once you get your mic straight, we'll go back to you. But what I can say for a fact is that the execution of this was really well done. They handled it like a champ. Like, to be honest with you, some of the shots that they did in this, it was too perfect. It was actually too perfect, because whether it was the dance, or whether it was their reintroduction to Jackson, or whether it was just small conversations, whether it was Dina and Ellie having their run back, all these things, guys, were in the game. And how they executed them and the look of them was phenomenal. What we could talk about, I guess, without going into spoiler territory, I think Ant's mic's working because I just heard him. Is talking about the stalker. What were you guys' collective perspective on that? And I'll go to Ronan and I'll go to Ty first. Like, how do you guys feel like they handled the introduction of that?
That was, dare I say, perfect. We'll get to that later, but just yeah, I really liked how you get a sense of mentality between both the stalker and Ellie at that time, where they're at in their lives, if that you could say that. Yeah, that was incredible. Good work, HBO Naughty Dog crew.
Man, still emotional combat, but you got some words out. I'm happy, I'm proud of you. Ty, you feel like they handled it?
I feel if I had to make an early assessment. Well, I'm sorry. Let me answer your first question. The stalker, absolutely. I actually am of the same mindset. It was dang near perfect. I mean, it truly felt like a in-game moment. Even the environment reminds me of that scene in the game. It's just nuts. But if this episode tells me anything, they're putting their heart and soul into this season. And I think it is my belief that the game in and of itself, especially the issues we had with the game, would have been resolved if they had applied a microcosm of what we just saw today, the stuff that wasn't in the game. In the game, S-tier game. I can't wait for the rest of these episodes, man. I don't even know what to say. I am so emotional at the moment. You got to take the camera. Go away. I need a minute.
All right, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this for you guys because this is neutral. This is neutral ground right here. This character that they confirmed, and now we know who's Joel's therapist's backstory, and that's Eugene. And the way they executed who Eugene is, and they played it into Joel's unfortunate turn of events with the relationship with Ellie and also what he needs is so fascinating. And I know we can't get into spoiler territory, but Ronan, I know as soon as you heard the name Eugene, how did you feel? And then how did you feel after they handled it?
This is where I love that this was made into a TV show instead of a movie. I think this would have easily been in the cutting room. Hell, they probably wouldn't even have shot it. It would have been in the script if it was in a movie. That layer just elevates the material from the game. Different perspective, different interpretation, but just elevates it. I was really wondering that because I knew that Eugene was going to be part of it, and I know who's playing Eugene, and I won't say. But I was wondering if they were just going to do, just the same thing that we got in the game, or is there an opportunity to enhance it, or as Naughty Dog likes to say, reiterate, and how it was used, not just how his mention was like, oh, cool, Easter egg. I know what, Rick Dalton moment. It was story character driven moment, why he was used and how it was used for Joel and against, but more for Joel. And how much, again, if they're keeping with that with background, you see how that has a foundational setting with not just Joel's story, but the whole story of Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah, no. So there was a reason why I put that picture up there because I think that pinpoints something that we know for a fact now is going to absolutely happen. This is very non-linear. They're going to go back and forward time-wise. I was scared, and I am very scared how that's going to get executed.
What,
Right?
like, do you mean like in like a This Is Us kind of way?
Yes.
Think
Yes, absolutely.
think this is us mixed with Quentin Tarantino.
Yes, Keaton, you have no idea how much like Sam. I was scared after those first two scenes because I'm like, it's what he was saying of Luke Skywalker. This is not how it's gonna go, and yet I know stuff, and it's
All right.
I'm very fascinated with. I can't wait to hear the podcast of them saying how they did the structure. That's what I'm already being like. How did you do it? I want to know how you did the structure, but please.
Yeah, there's in the game, there's a lot of non-linear moments. And unless it's in the right hands, it can hurt or help the player, right? And that was where I was terrified of. And I'm still kind of terrified because as a player, you play for 10 hours straight something, right? With the show, you're keeping engagement. It's required. So I love how they handled this first episode. But what I know for a fact, and I think most of the people that's played the game know this as well, this is gonna be one heck of a season. This is not just an emotional roller coaster. This, from a structured narrative perspective, if Craig and Neil weren't involved in this couldn't work. There's no way. And I still don't know if they can actually pull it off. And I know that's a really triggering thing to say. Jorge, I know you don't understand. I know you don't understand, Keaton. I know you don't understand, but I promise you, if they do it right, this could be something amazing. And I think that what I feel about this episode is that they give me hope that they can pull it off. I don't really have anything more to say, to be honest with you. And if your mic works, I would love for you.
It does. Can you hear me?
Okay,
now?
yeah, there you
All
go.
right.
All right, go ahead.
First off, yeah, the fact that they jumped right back into the storyline pretty much from where they left off, great. That was awesome. I guess I'm almost have to ask you guys that played the game. And remember, I watched you guys play the beginning and the end of the game.
Okay.
So I kind of knew what was going to happen this episode.
But don't
I'm
say
in
anything.
the dark to get to where it, climaxes and finishes off. But for you guys that played the game, like, was the second game more cinematic in and of itself?
Okay.
Because it seemed like the second season is going to follow the game even in their shots. So that's my question to y'all. What do you think?
It's I'll say to me to not take away of the first game. Both games are cinematic as. The thing is, what's I'm doing my best, Sans, and that's where. What's unique about part 2 is that from a gaming perspective, it was the details from jumping graphic wise, gameplay wise. That was the thing that was like, holy hell, beyond the story. And what I think they're doing well is honing in on environments and weather for the coloring. And like when Ellie's in that room with the clicker, you feel the wooden brown yellow of the room, and it tells you how stuff may play with the clickers. So I wouldn't be surprised that they do go enhanced, they go 8K or or IMAX with this season, because first one is less about action, more about drama. This one, you have to turn up the volume on both equally, because that's what differentiates both games and makes both of them each on their own unique.
Yeah, I think that it's absolutely gonna go way more cinematic. There's gonna be a lot of moments that even in the darkness, you're not gonna expect that they're gonna handle execution. You guys, honestly, y'all haven't even seen anything yet, to be honest with you. I think we're just trying to compartmentalize our emotions without freaking out. But it's something as simple as them picking up a bottle will freak us out. I can promise you they're doing something good.
Yeah, it's bizarre watching y'all watch it, man. Because it'll be
Yeah.
like,
It's almost entertaining.
Did you see that dust? Did you see that dust right there? Is that the door? Like, I'm like,
But it's like it makes you like focus so much more on the shots because I see these three like geeking out,
bro,
and I'm like, I start looking at everything in the picture, like what's going on, what did I miss, like why are they, like
we were 8
reading out
seconds
about
in, and they were like giraffes, yo,
Right.
like they ride giraffes in the game. Like, what is going on here? Is it the dude from Toys R Us? Is he back? Like, what's going on? Like,
it's
for
detail.
the record,
It's details. Like to me, again, nothing not spoilery, but in the game you see a wall of Employee of the Month stuff. As a gamer, that was such a cool mechanic thing because you experience all you're trying to do a puzzle riddle with that sequence, and yet I'm like, wow, they didn't have to go out of their way to do that, but because Craig respects and loves the material and the fan community, they did that. And it's cool. Like if they're willing to do that for small stuff, imagine the care and imagine the setups for the stuff that we were like, that's why we were freaking out, because this is not a normal thing in this day and age.
I'll be completely honest, like watching y'all react to it, that's a hell of a story for a video game.
Yeah.
I will say
also
that.
You want to play the video game. Does have the giraffe in the background for a reason.
Like I'm gonna show y'all something, and this is how you guys need to understand how on it they actually are. Let me do the best I can with this. Here you go. I want you to check out this picture right here. Check that out. Read that.
Okay.
That's the same as the That's wild.
Color, design, look at the spacing, look at the lighting, where the dark is, it is.
And I was like, yeah, even with the box, or not the boxes, but the shelving or whatever that is in the middle, the organizers.
I don't know if Sam has it, but even the bear, the bear and the animals going into it, I'm telling y'all, it's freaky because
wow,
I was there. I was riding Shimmer to that spot, and it's weird watching it play out without me in the joystick. But it's the best compliment I can give him. Just like, holy shit.
She didn't have a gun that big in the show.
The
not
truck.
good. Not accurate. Not good.
Somebody gonna be mad.
No, I will say the one thing that was very impressive is with the stalker scene, just how that was shot.
Yeah.
This show could have sucked, like this episode. That scene alone, like, was phenomenal.
Chills.
I can promise you, we were just as frightened playing it as we were watching it.
Absolutely.
Well,
chills.
It's and the way that I think for me the neatest part. So obviously, like it gives you a different zombie per se, but I think it was the way that they executed it, where I'm watching it and I'm like, okay, like maybe this guy, like it's kind of fast or it's this or that. I was not expecting what I saw. Like the way that when it pops out, like to attack and to start that fight, like legit got me. But even when you first start seeing it, like you get this millisecond of a glimmer in the top corner of the screen.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start seeing like the way the camera pans with, how she's walking, and then you just kind of see it for a millisecond again. And it's just like, oh crap, like she's getting stalked. Like this thing is like literally knows what it's doing. So no, that scene would sell anybody easily with this.
Yeah. I mean, the way that they handled not just the execution of how it moves, but even the look, the sound, you guys just don't even know. I was impressed. I was impressed with this whole episode, though. But.
Like Sam said, you ain't seen nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all gonna. But by the time they start doing stuff at nighttime,
oh fuck, you guys are fucked.
Some of y'all I know for a fact don't like that kind of stuff, and yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. But anyway, I really feel like they nailed all the characters that we know as far as the game. but I'm curious y'all's perspective on these new characters. How did you guys feel about Abby? How did you guys feel about Jesse? How did you guys feel about Dina? I'm asking you, Ant, Keaton, and Jorge. Because honestly, me, Ty, and Ronan's perspective really doesn't matter. All we can say is I think they did a good job. Is that a safe assessment for everybody? Okay. But how do you guys feel about
It's
the new
scary
characters?
how well they got Dina for me. It's kind of scary. And
Oh
I'm
yeah.
so proud of
Yeah.
Isabella. I'm so proud of her.
Yeah.
And I think they did. I think they improved on Abby. That's probably the one thing they did better than the game.
All right. So who wants to go first? Keaton, Jorge, Ant. I'm gonna pick one of y'all.
I was like, okay, cool. No, I thought the new characters were intriguing. Once the final scene popped up and I realized that, Abby wasn't, wasn't Ellie, it got me so intrigued. And it started, which was kind of nice because Keaton kind of jumped right into it, but it got my mind running as like, did I see this person before? Like, where have we seen them? Like, it just started triggering a lot of memories from season 1, trying to figure out where have I seen this person. So that whole backstory seemed really neat. But no, I am really impressed at how I'm impressed and I'm scared at how well executed this episode 1 is. Because you only have, but wow, that scene. Okay, so that scene is almost a mirror image. Yeah, like it's hard when your first episode, at least for me, is this good. Because I don't understand, like I can't comprehend right now how you can top that or how you can go higher up,
Yeah.
So for me, that's the part right now that I'm thinking, it's like, how can they elevate what they just did? But I'm sure we'll find out.
She.
Oh man. Ant, what are you thinking about some of the characters?
Man, look, from what I can tell, is the best thing you can do storytelling wise is get the audience to feel sympathy for the antagonist, to understand the motivations of the antagonist. And in a very simple way, they kind of just gave you that and said, okay, turn her loose, basically. Like, goodness gracious, that was well done. Even and just, can I just give a quick shout to just like the acting of the who's the lady that was the psychiatrist?
Catherine O'Hara.
The Catherine O'Hara and Joel's character. Like, there was so much said without saying anything in their faces. It was masterful. But yeah, like, nah, I'm amped about the new characters and just how they're how they play out, basically.
Oh man. Keaton, thoughts on new characters?
They pretty much rounded the bases. I agree. I'm insanely excited. That was a really good opening episode. I was it's one of those things, I feel like I'm more on edge because of y'all's reactions to it, because I'm like, oh Jesus, what is about to happen right now? Like, because like normally it's one of those things where you watch a show and you're like, man, like what's gonna happen next? But like seeing how tense y'all are more stressful than the show itself. Like I'm gonna be real. Sitting there, I'm like, man, are y'all gonna be okay? Like y'all was like, good Lord. But it was really good. I also really loved the music in the episode. I'm like, some of those songs were pretty catchy. I'm like, I'm gonna have to find them on Spotify. But yeah, I really loved the episode. I loved all the different characters they introduced. I want to learn more about them. It's one of those things. I definitely want to sit down and watch the episode again because I feel like they had so much in this first episode that there were a lot of things where it's like if you blink you'll miss it, or if your phone buzzed you missed like a piece of important dialogue. And so I definitely want to give it a rewatch to see if there's anything that I might have missed.
Yeah. All right. So with that, there's not much more we can be able to say. This is going to be such a hard review. But I think if we formulate it like this, I think we'll be in a safe area. This is going to be hard. We may end up having to branch off and do something else as well. But if everybody can give your closing thoughts and ratings of this episode, A to F. Ronan, I'm going to let you go first.
Wait, has that giraffe been there the whole time?
The whole time.
Whole time, man.
When Sam told me you didn't know, I had to quickly move my camera to hide this from you until we told you what we were watching. It's an A. It's an A already. The structure I am digging thus far. It's so much. I am taking it so much better than I did with the game. I think Pedro es un orgullo de la comunidad latina, and give him a fucking Emmy already. Give him another one if he already has one. I am very much doing my best not to melt right here in front of y'all, but this show, if season 1 was very much the adventure thriller, this one is very much the indie movie horror movie, if you will. And just strap in and be ready for the ride. Highly recommended. Well done HBO crew. Well done everybody, below the line, the actors, Isabella, Bella, man, just phenomenal.
Yeah. And closing thoughts and rating.
Man, clearly A. Again, for music, cinematics, for amazing acting. Man, this is such a great opening salvo. And again, like you very, very politely nodded, I am not a zombie person at all, but I am here for this. So yeah, that says a lot, period. So yeah, absolute A. I would recommend it to anybody.
No, for sure. Jorge.
I'm afraid to give this an A just off the jump, but it's an A. Like it is that good. I think the cinematography in this season I'm very excited for. But yeah, no, this is, you don't get much better than this, and I will agree with Ronan. Like Pedro did a ridiculous good job. Like you don't see pain and suffering like that from like any old junior actor. Like this is a guy who I can only imagine like the depths he had to go to like just show that much emotion. Some of those scenes are so raw of him. There's too much good in this first episode. Like I said, I am scared because I don't know how you can get much better than this. But I am all for this ride. But yeah, this is an A. Like there's no other way of putting it. This is an A.
All right, Keaton. Final thoughts and rating.
Yeah, I'll be real. It's an A. It's an A, and it's one of those things where I honestly at the end of this episode I didn't even think twice. I think this show is a straight A student. Like it's honor roll. You know what I mean? Chancellor's list, whatever you call it. Like I think they just nail it. They nailed it with the casting. They nailed it with the writing, and like they put their blood, sweat, and tears into it. I mean, so much. The acting is just phenomenal. They are saying entire essays with just their facial expressions. Mm-hmm. It's absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, it's an A, and I would not be shocked if every episode this season was an A with how strong this first episode this season was.
Whew. Okay. All right, Ty. Final thoughts and rating.
I'm gonna look dead at the camera with this. I am not giving this episode an A. I am not. I refuse. This show is not A worthy. This is an S tier
S
show.
tier. I knew it.
This is S tier show. This is Dragon Ball Z Super Goku Ultimate Form show right here. I truly believe this show will not come down from an S tier. I'm giving it the S now. If it gets anything lower than that, they must have done something truly stupid to drop this below S tier. And there is only one thing I can think of, and that's if they dedicate 3 or 4 episodes to one individual, then I will be pissed. But outside of that, this is going to be an S tier series. So I'm giving this first episode S tier because it literally was the game, from the stalker to the face off to the environment to the details to the bear to the characters to the dance. The dance was literally the game.
Mm-hmm.
This is I could go into it, but I know I'm gonna run off on a tangent, so I don't want to. But this is not an A show. This is S tier level show. That is my rating. S tier.
Quick question for y'all. How many games are there in this series?
Two. Just two.
There's only 2?
It's only
Two in the
With-
DLC.
With one working,
Well,
one
yeah,
in
two-
progress.
two in DLC with 1 in progress. So what you're literally watching is the second game.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So wait. So there's a third game being made right now,
No.
or
No.
it's DLC?
No. There's no
Okay.
third game. It's just 2 games.
Okay,
So that means everyone dies at the end. Got
was
it.
the
Fair.
first game?
Allegedly.
So
The
was the
first
first?
season was the first game.
Yes.
So is this going to be a 2-season show, or
What did I tell you? Strap
we
in.
don't know.
Just strap
We
in.
don't know.
Just hold on to your knickers
We
and
don't
hold
know.
on.
All
All
right.
right.
We don't know.
Yeah. So as far as me, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. This is like probably the best birthday present I could have gotten, especially in the experience with these guys. So I might
Happy
be.
birthday, Sam.
Thank
Happy
you.
birthday, bro.
Happy
bro.
birthday!
I
Oh,
may be
man.
biased,
Woo!
but this was for me an A+. I think off of this scene alone,
Yes, Lord.
this is an Emmy-worthy performance.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't even expecting it. It didn't even come from the game. But the amount of evoking emotion that comes off of both of these individuals and the purpose behind it from a narrative perspective, it complements the game itself, which is the second game, but it also complements the human side that we're hoping that the TV can invoke in everybody. Of course, the cinematography is masterful. Of course, you got amazing actors. This is spot for the game. Like visually, it's immersing you right into the game if you've ever played it. But some kind of a way, through different actions, they're allowing the characters to decompress, and they're allowing them to really truly be nurtured. And I think the scene with a certain character, and I'll put it up right here, made me understand that this could, and I think it might work. This scene alone invoked more emotion than any gamer that played the second game could have wanted for, to understand somebody that's dealing with as much pain as Joel has been through. And this is A+. I cannot believe how well they executed this. I am terrified. I'm at the same time, I am hopeful, but as a first episode, this is A+ material. That's where I'm at with it. But yeah, I apologize for us emotionally, guys. Ronan is doing a lot better than he was. But
Busy just messaging me. He just checked on me. He's
Like
like, "You doing
30
okay?"
minutes.
I'm like, "I'm better, man. Thanks."
But we're gonna go. So we'll be back for episode 2, hopefully with the same exact crew. And thank you guys so much for watching. Peace, people.